Imagine reading a thriller where, the hero suddenly realizes the monster is already inside the house.
Oh, I love that feeling. Well, in a book, anyway.
Right. Well, that is exactly what it feels like to read the match report we are analyzing today.
It really is.
In this deep dive, our mission is to examine a single, completely riveting source document from the Women's T20 World Cup. We're looking at the West Indies' incredibly narrow 7-run victory over Scotland.
And, I mean, on paper, a 7-run victory for a powerhouse team over a qualifier team.
Right, a team actively hunting for their second World Cup title, no less.
Exactly. It looks like a standard day at the office.
But when you bypass that final score and look at the actual mechanics of what transpired on that pitch, it reveals a story of severe scares, full-blown psychological meltdowns, and just incredible underdog tenacity.
Yeah, the raw scoreline totally masks a truly violent shift in momentum.
So how does a champion team react when the underdog suddenly has them pinned against the wall? Okay, let's unpack this.
My focus today is to look at the mechanics of that pressure. We are going to look at the physical geometry of the field, the tactical strangleholds, and the human fallibility that gets exposed.
Because they realized they were in a fight they never prepared for.
Exactly. Because when you strip away the uniforms, sports at this level are really just pressure cookers that test a team's baseline cognitive responses.
Wow, okay. So I'm looking at the opening of this match report, and the West Indies, a team known for explosive, dominant batting, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
They look completely paralyzed right out of the gate. Scotland restricts openers Hayley Matthews and Kiana Joseph to just 13 runs in the first 3 overs.
Which is practically unheard of for them.
Right. We are reading about Rachel Slater bowling a spectacularly economical first over and Gabriella Fontenla generating serious swing.
Yeah, they were relentless.
But the moment that jumps off the page to me is Catherine Frazier's catch on the boundary to dismiss Joseph.
Oh, that catch was unbelievable.
She leaps, grabs the ball midair, and lands just centimeters away from the sponge boundary.
Centimeters.
So why is a single catch in the early overs creating such a palpable sense of panic in the West Indies dugout?
What's fascinating here is the intersection of spatial awareness and psychological messaging.
Okay, how so?
Well, the sponge boundary isn't just a line drawn on the grass. It is a physical, elevated obstacle.
Right, you can trip over it.
Exactly. For Frazier to track a ball, hit high into the air, calculate its trajectory, catch it, and then have the proprioception, like the bodily awareness, to land inside the rope without hitting the sponge.
It requires elite athleticism.
It really does. And for the West Indies, who expect to dominate these early exchanges, witnessing that level of athleticism from a qualifier team sends an immediate, terrifying message.
That Scotland isn't here to get lucky.
Precisely. They are here to compete athletically.
So it's not just that they lost a wicket, it's the realization of who they're actually playing against.
Yeah, and you can see the ripple effect immediately.
Because from the text, it seems like the West Indies' entire system overloads. They end the power play at a sluggish 33 for 1.
Which is so slow for them.
And by the 13th over, they've only hit the boundary 7 times. They are literally scuttling for singles. We see Chanel Henry trapped LBW by Kirsty Gordon and Shemaine Campbell run out.
Right.
So I have to ask, is this Scotland executing a brilliant trap? Or is this the West Indies simply forgetting how to play cricket?
Well, it is the former causing the latter.
Yeah.
Scotland executed a complete masterclass in run-scoring starvation.
Run-scoring starvation. I like that.
Yeah, because when a team like the West Indies is denied boundaries, it creates this compounding internal panic. The batters are used to dictating the terms of engagement.
And when they can't, they try to force the issue.
Exactly. That run out of Campbell is the perfect symptom of this. When you can't hit the ball to the fence, you start taking riskier, mathematically improbable runs.
The batters just get frantic.
They do. Scotland didn't just bowl well, they tightened a vice grip. And the West Indies' inability to emotionally regulate in the face of that friction caused them to implode.
It's like trying to run a sprint in waist-deep water. The harder the West Indies fought, the tighter Scotland's trap became.
That is a great way to put it. They found themselves at 85 for 5 in the 15th over, which, in a T20 match, is a catastrophic platform.
But then Stafanie Taylor's explosive rescue mission should have ended that pressure.
I don't think so, yes.
I mean, she walks in for her debut tournament encounter right into this absolute disaster zone, and the report literally calls her innings a counteroffensive.
It really was.
She blasts an unbeaten 47 off just 19 balls, striking at an absurd rate of 247.36. We are talking 2 straight sixes, boundaries over the covers, and a massive 83-meter maximum.
Ah, she was phenomenal.
Taylor stepping onto the pitch felt like a circuit breaker tripping. Scotland had the West Indies system completely overloaded, and her aggression instantly snapped the current. How does one player do that so rapidly?
She did it by forcibly altering the physical geometry of Scotland's fielding arrangement.
Wait, what do you mean by geometry?
Well, when Taylor hits an 83-meter six straight down the ground, she isn't just adding 6 runs to the scoreboard. She is forcing the Scottish captain to fundamentally reconsider her strategy.
Oh, because she has to protect against those big hits.
Exactly. The captain has to push fielders deeper to the boundary, and when you push fielders back, you immediately open up the infield.
So suddenly the West Indies batters don't have to take those risky singles.
Right. The gaps are wider, the pressure releases, and the suffocating trap Scotland built is dismantled. Taylor basically bypassed methodical batting and went straight to psychological warfare.
That makes so much sense because you can actually see the contrast in the report with her teammate, Jazara Claxton.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Claxton tries to join this acceleration, hits a 6, but gets caught 4 balls later at cow corner. In cricket terminology, cow corner isn't exactly an elegant place to hit the ball, right?
Precisely. Cow corner is a very unglamorous area of the field, deep on the leg side. It's typically targeted by a batter playing a desperate, sweeping slog.
Rather than a controlled, geometric cricket shot.
Right. Taylor was hitting straight and clean, really calculating the physics. Claxton hitting to cow corner indicates she was still infected by that lingering panic.
Trying to muscle the ball rather than time it.
Yeah, but Taylor's sheer individual brilliance was enough. She single-handedly dragged the West Indies to a massive 69 runs in the final 6 overs, setting a target of 154.
Which brings up a massive contradiction in this report.
How so?
Mathematically, 154 is a huge target. Having put those runs on the board, the West Indies should have cruised. So why does their fielding completely fall apart in the second half?
That is the big question.
Scotland starts the chase beautifully, 51 unbeaten after 5 overs, with Catherine Fraser chipping in 13 off 6 balls. But the real story is their anchor, Darcey Carter.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, Darcey Carter is the variable the West Indies simply could not compute.
Right. She just turned 21, and she is fighting a significant leg ailment.
Yeah, and she actually seemed to injure it further trying to play a delivery from Matthews down the leg side.
She is visibly struggling to run, yet she grits her teeth and hits her 7th T20 international half-century, 59 off 53 balls.
It's unbelievable.
As a batter, how do you even score 59 runs when your biomechanics are compromised by a bad leg?
You have to completely rely on hand-eye coordination, upper body strength, and just an ironclad mental focus.
Because footwork is usually the foundation, right?
Exactly. Footwork allows you to get to the pitch of the ball. Carter had that foundation stripped away. Her success, despite that physical limitation, is a display of absolute mental endurance.
And that is exactly what broke the West Indies in the field.
Yes, the West Indies were physically fine, but mentally they were crumbling.
You really see that mental crumbling in the fielding stats. Professional athletes suddenly losing their hand-eye coordination.
It was painful to read.
Kiana Joseph drops a sitter from Carter when she was on 19. And it wasn't just her. Scotland's keeper Sarah Bryce had dropped Campbell earlier, and then Campbell herself drops Megan McCall before having to leave the field feeling ill.
Replaced by Mandy Mangrew, yeah.
Right. Why does a team of this caliber suddenly start dropping basic catches?
Because mental anxiety manifests physically. When a player is panicked, their grip tightens, their shoulders tense up, and their reaction times fractionally delay.
Wow, so it's not a lack of skill at all.
No, dropping a sitter when the opponent is on 19 is the physical symptom of mental agony. Every drop reinforced this terrifying reality that Scotland simply refused to go away.
Here's where it gets really interesting. I want to zero in on Deandra Doughton because this blew my mind.
Oh, this part is intense.
I'm looking at her stats here. She's a 150-game veteran. She bowls 3 consecutive wides in the 18th over. Carter hits 2 fours and 3 balls. And then Doughton is literally sobbing on the field.
Yeah.
She's crying and only gathers herself with the support of her teammates. Why is a player with 150 matches of experience, someone who has seen it all, literally brought to tears in the 18th over of a group stage match? Is that a sign of weakness or is it raw passion boiling over?
It's neither, really. It's because of cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance.
Yeah. When you are a champion side, your internal narrative, like your identity, is that you dispatch qualifiers cleanly and ruthlessly.
Right. You expect to win easily.
Exactly. The longer Darcey Carter stood at the crease hitting boundaries on one good leg, the louder the alarm bells rang in Dotton's head.
Oh, wow.
Her brain was screaming, "We're supposed to be dominating." But her reality was that they were on the verge of a humiliating defeat. That clash between expectation and reality creates immense emotional weight.
It's like Scotland was a pebble in the West Indies' shoe that slowly turned into a boulder over the course of the match.
Exactly. The tears weren't a lack of toughness. They were the dam breaking under the pressure of a shattered narrative.
Okay, so the game is slipping away. Scotland needs 22 runs from the final 2 overs. The West Indies are actively having an emotional breakdown on the pitch. How does a team in that state actually close out a match?
Well, they rely on their specialists.
Right. The report says they relied on their spinners, specifically Hayley Matthews. She finishes with 3 wickets for 19 runs in 4 overs.
An amazing performance.
But the stat that I cannot look past is her 13 dot balls. She defeats Fraser with a faster ball, forces Catherine Bryce into a second ball duck, and traps McCall LBW. Let's talk about those dot balls. Are dot balls actually more psychologically damaging to a batter than losing a teammate?
Yes, the dot balls are the invisible architect of Scotland's downfall.
Because we always look at the highlight reel, right? The wickets.
Exactly. We look at the stumps flying out of the ground. But in limited overs formats, time, which is measured in deliveries, is a team's most precious resource.
So when Hayley Matthews bowls a dot ball, she is essentially stealing time.
Right. It's not just a blank entry on the scorecard. Every dot ball dramatically inflates the required run rate for the remaining deliveries.
It's like being trapped in an escape room where the clock is ticking but none of the doors will budge.
That is exactly what it feels like. It induces a very specific, suffocating kind of panic in the batter. If you face 3 dot balls in a row, the mathematics of the chase demand that you hit a boundary on the 4th.
And Matthews knew this.
She did. She didn't just aim for the stumps. She executed a surgical strike on Scotland's patience. She forced the Scottish batters to manufacture shots that weren't there.
Like Catherine Bryce miscuing to mid-off, or McCall getting trapped on a reverse sweep.
Right. Those aren't unforced errors. Those are desperate, high-risk gambles forced by the claustrophobia of Matthews' dot balls.
Which perfectly sets the stage for Aaliyah Alleyne in the 19th over.
Oh, she was brilliant.
She comes in and delivers absolute heroics. 3 wickets for 11 runs. She finally ends Carter's brave innings with a return catch off a top edge. Then she removes Ailsa Lister, who had scored a vital 33, and Kirsty Gordon on consecutive balls.
A total collapse. 4 wickets for 7 runs in 2 overs.
And then Joseph seals the deal, dismissing Slater and Fontana in 3 balls. But how exactly did Alleyne capitalize on the panic that Matthews seeded? What are the mechanics of bowling that 19th over when the batters absolutely have to swing?
Alleyne weaponized Scotland's desperation. When a team needs 22 runs off 12 balls, the batters have abandoned all defensive technique. Their only objective is to clear the boundary.
Right.
As a bowler, if you provide pace, the batter can use that pace to hit the ball out of the park. Alleyne brilliantly adjusted her lengths and took the pace off the ball.
So she made them do all the work.
Precisely. That return catch from Darcey Carter off a top edge is a textbook example. Carter had to swing hard, but because Alleyne held back the pace or dug the ball into the pitch, Carter's bat speed was faster than the ball's arrival.
Oh, so she hit it with the top edge of the bat.
Yes, sending it straight up into the air. Alleyne and Joseph slammed the door shut not by overpowering Scotland, but by offering them enough rope to hang themselves. They let Scotland swing their way into defeat.
So what does this all mean? We've looked at the spatial awareness of boundary catches, the geometry of Stafanie Taylor's counteroffensive, the biomechanics of Darcey Carter's one-legged anchor, and the sheer cognitive dissonance that drove a veteran to tears.
It means that true resilience in a championship environment is rarely pretty.
Yeah, we definitely have this idealized vision of champion teams.
Right, as unfeeling robots who execute flawlessly under pressure. But this match report shatters that myth. The West Indies were absolutely rattled, their systems overloaded, they dropped catches, and they wept on the field.
But they survived.
They survived because they found their anchors. When the batting collapsed, Taylor was the circuit breaker. When the fielding was in chaos, Matthews' dot balls stopped the bleeding.
So you don't need 11 players to be perfect.
No, you just need 1 or 2 to exert enough gravitational pull to keep the team from spinning out of orbit.
That is so applicable to just, daily life. Whether you're prepping for a massive presentation or facing an underdog competitor in business, momentum is fragile. the team that controls their breathing usually controls the outcome.
Absolutely. And I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over regarding that exact point.
Okay, let's hear it.
It is something that isn't written in the final standings, but echoes through every line of this text. Consider this. The West Indies technically won the match. They secured the points. But given the sheer panic they exhibited, the fielding collapses and the emotional breakdowns, did Scotland actually win the psychological war?
Oh, wow.
If you push a giant to the absolute brink, to the point of literal tears on the grass, does the scoreboard truly reflect who the better team was on that given day?
What an incredible question to chew on. That is all the time we have for today's deep dive into the mechanics of pressure, momentum, and human fallibility. Keep digging into the sources around you, keep asking the hard questions, and we will catch you on the next one.